Good afternoon, good evening, however you're getting this message. How is everybody doing? Well, I told you yesterday, there comes a time when you subscribe to a channel and you find out if they know what they're talking about or if they BSing. And yesterday I told you we've sown some signs. I see what the charts are telling us, and we are having some issues. And I'm not happy to say this, but I am gonna say it. We've been doing this for quite some time, and we know what we're talking about, and we'll keep you understanding what to look for. If you take your time, you listen to us. We keep it clean. We don't really tell you what to do, but we know what levels to watch. We know what levels to make sure you understand the direction of the market, what you should be looking at. Now, how you play the market, that's on you. But let us be your second pair of eyes that kind of see the market for you. So maybe what you see, you can maybe bounce it off of what we're telling you, and then know your levels to watch, or just simply kind of, listen to what we say and then kind of get into your trades, however you get into your trades. We love doing this. We've been doing this for a long time, for doing it for free. This is our first time really trying to get into it and kind of give it to the masses. Okay. So subscribe, join our Discord. You get our reports every single day. But let's get into the charts. That's what we do. We talk through the charts. If you don't see it on the charts, we ain't gonna talk about it. So let's get into it. Let's start with the spot. Now, before we start, I need to let you know Fridays can be a little tricky. Normally Fridays are people trying to exit their positions so they can go ahead and go to the weekend with cash. So even though you're gonna see some stuff that gave you some confirmations, keep in mind Friday can be a little weird and a little hairy. So if we've been dropping all week long, there's a possibility you might get a pop early in the day and then a fade back down again. We'll see. So let's give you some levels to watch out for, but let's see what happened. So we talked about this engulfing candle. We talked about this red line from December 17th, which was our line in the sand in which the market cannot go below, which it absolutely did. We got below this particular candle from December 17th. We did it all in one day. Matter of fact, we opened below it and we touched it. That's the line that we opened at. We opened, we touched it three times. That's your trade. You touch it three times, that's literally telling you, like, listen, we are opening below here. We touched it three times, and that's the location we're gonna bounce off of, which it did. So if you got in at 271, you could have had a nice little rally down to 666. All right, that's a weird number for Friday the 13th, but it is what it is. So check it out. So we are overbought on so this is what I'm telling you, we're overbought on the daily and it's a Friday. Do not be surprised if you wake up and we come right back to this 671.20 area. Now, the high that it can go to, it can technically go all the way back up to here, 676 and still be cool for us to drop back down again. Or it can come back here and retest this particular shooting star doji candle that we was waiting on, which we got to close below. So everything right now is telling you pushing down, but now the question is where's your entry and where you're looking for. Another location that's going to be definitely interesting to look at would absolutely be this around this 20 moving average on the hourly, which puts you right back at that the bottom of the candle we was waiting for it to close below, which is 674.76. You could go all the way back up there, okay? So just keep your eyes open. Look for the 20 moving average on the hourly. Look for these areas, and that might give you a good entry if we get a pop all the way back up and then rolls back down again. But don't want to trade in dead air. I wouldn't short right here. I wouldn't go long right here. I'll just wait for it to kind of get to areas that I can see where we can use it. So remember our theme here is this. The trend is your friend, but location is your best friend. So you have friends, the trend can, you got friends, you don't mind going out to the club with your friends, but it's nothing like getting in the right location and getting the right location to know if you're right or wrong fairly quickly. There's nothing like going on a trip with your best friends. That's a totally different situation. So, all right, so we got the spot in, right? So let's go to the matter of fact, let's look at the weekly 20. Where we at? Yeah, we're below the weekly 20, dramatically below it. Not dramatically below it, but we are absolutely below it. Look at the candle that is creating. Next week, this is going to be a level 662.39. We start breaking below that. We going all the way down to this level. All right. Okay, Qs. Let's go to Qs. Well, let's look at the 20 while we're here. Oh, wait, we're below that. We're creating these candles that's rejecting that 20. And then that low of this week is going to be interesting. All right, so let's go into it. So now the honest to God truth that the Qs we've had some levels, but the real trend is pretty much the real trend is you have this engulfing candle that we haven't gotten above and we haven't broken below. But the real trend, if you look to the left and we talk about consolidation, the cues really is really the area you really want to look at is all this jumbled up stuff above that and below that because you got a double bottom here. That's really where you're going to be cooking. Now that these things have been done and they've been closed, I'm gonna still keep this particular candle here. But the reality is the real trend breaker is going to be above this level and below this level because then we start to cook back to the previous all-time highs. It's been choppy, and this is the main one all the way down here, all the way down here. That's the main one. We break that. But just for right now, it's been fairly choppy. I would not be shocked if we come right back up to this area. Can't really use a 20 moving average because it hasn't been honoring it. It's just been choppy. We just got to break some areas. All right. Let's look. IWM. Okay. So now IWM. This is what we're looking at for IWM. So IWM had the same exact chart as the SPY. We had an engulfing candle, then we gave us a nice little shooting star wick, doji kind of candle. Boom, we didn't break down below it today. We officially went below it, and this is the where it gets different. You see this green line? This is our first time getting a daily close below this particular monthly green line that I've been watching. I got to see how we close on the weekly. If we close below 250.22, that lets me know that this move down is not a correction. It's probably going to keep going because we have too many things going in a certain direction. Then the next thing is going to be that candle breaking that candle. We break that candle. If you look to your left, it's going to break some areas. We break that candle. The next slide is all the way down here, guys. That's the next slide is all the way down to 228.90. There's nothing keeping you from actually going all the way down to that. So just pay attention. This is small cap. Pay attention to it. Okay. Now let's go with the Dow. Now the Dow, you see the setup on the daily. Let's look at the setup on the daily. We have the exact same setup. We had this engulfing candle. We had the doji candle. We was waiting for a close below it. We got that close yesterday, and as you see, the Dow was the one that just ripped. The Dow was trying to get below this particular engulfing candle, which that means that's drop, drop, drop. Drop, drop. For those that you know music, hip hop, you know what that is. All right. So now we start breaking below that. It's probably going to go to a previous all-time high, which is this particular location. So just pay attention, guys. Things are going down, but you could go all the way back up to 740, 476, 47 tomorrow and still be okay to turn right back around. Let's look where the 24, what a weekly 20 is. Let me shrink this back up. Weekly 20. Weekly 20 is way up here. I don't think we'll get to the weekly 20, but we could kind of get to like the little halfway point and then turn back down again. And it's just simply because the time, sometimes it's not about the candle, it's about the timing. It's Friday. Fridays, traditionally, people get out of their position. So that means if people been shorting all week, they got to cover those shorts, which means the market goes up. But then what happens is the fade turns right back around. You get to a point where there's enough people got out of their positions that don't want to carry it into the weekend. And then all you're left with are people that are shorting and cool, especially those that might have missed the short. They waiting for a new entry, and when they bring it back up again, you're gonna have people trying to go long, trying to catch it and be wrong, and then they're gonna push it right back down again. All right. So we got done with the index. So right now we got a clear cut on what's going on with the market. There's not no confusion. We broke the levels. We're breaking all these different levels. The SPY is the one that's probably the most concerning or the most identifying. We finally broke below that red line that we've been looking at for a long time that it's been rejecting. So we kind of know what the market's doing. Now we're just trying to find our entries. We're trying to find areas. We understand what Friday's going to do. Do not get head faked that the market goes up. Hell, it might even go up 1%, 2%. I don't know, but just know your levels, know what you're looking for. Okay. Now let's go ahead over here to the canaries and see if the canaries are telling us any stories that we need to look for. All right, here we go. Emerging markets. So emerging markets, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, it popped up a little, then it turned back down again. So we went back below this particular level. It closed below the daily reversal down. Now we just kind of in chop zone. It's bounced off of this previous all-time high. But to be honest with you, emerging markets is not going to be able to hold too much longer if the market wants to go down. So we'll watch it, see how it opens up tomorrow. But as of right now, It's just kind of in this weird kind of chop city area, but it is trending down on the short term. Let's see the long term. Let's see the weekly. And I think we're officially below the 20 moving average on the weekly. So now you know you're going to get some confirmation. If it does not bounce or get above those particular levels before the week is up and we close below this on the weekly, that's concerning, especially since we had such high volume last week. And then now we have continuation of down red volume. It's just going to be interesting. I think we're going to have a pop with a fade tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's look at EFA. EFA, same thing. We're below the 20 moving average, right? We're below that particular level. And then we have this engulfing candle. We didn't close. We got the engulfing candle. We did technically close above that candle. No, we didn't. My bad. We closed at 99.21. I remember this one. 99.22. Never got above that candle. So now it went all the way up here, reversed back down again, and now we cooking all the way back down again. So we got to close below the daily reversal. So right now it's working its way down to this 90, 95, 98. That's why you have to wait for closes. 95, 98. If it closes below that, let's look to the left and see what we see. Let's see. Let's look to the left, see what we see. Yeah, we close below that. We might be cooking for quite some time because if I change it to a weekly candles, you see exactly where that location is. There's a couple of locations right here. The next stop is probably all the way down here at 91.39. Now, if that's an index, that means that's the stock market. So that'd be how many points? That's a 6%, maybe 5% move back down, which we'll see it on the SPY. We'll see it on other charts as well. Let's see what we got here. Gold's doing its thing. Now gold right now is long on the weekly, but it did give us something kind of weird. It got back down below here. It did close below the 20 moving average. I don't like that. I think gold is kind of in this weird area. It's kind of getting chopped up back and forth because it has rallied. I think it's probably stronger. It's not an index I would short because it doesn't make any sense. If things get real fearful, people are going to jump into gold. That's the natural, and it is a commodity. That's just the natural, how should I say it? That's what the market traditionally does when it comes to if interest rates are dropping and the stock market is dropping, I mean, interest rates are going up, stock market dropping, they got to find somewhere to go. It's either going to be cash, which is the dollar, or commodities, and sometimes both. We'll look at the dollar later to see what the dollar has done. Now let's go to Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, surprisingly, guys, even though it is looking, if you look at it on the chart, it is going sideways. It did break above this particular candle, then it came back down and held above the 20. And it is trending. It is trending down on the weekly. It feels like this is just going to go sideways to help the 20 moving average on the weekly catch up to it. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised how Bitcoin has actually stayed strong. We still haven't gotten the trigger back down again. It stayed strong. The market dropped, the market crashed, but Bitcoin did not participate in it. So this is something you need to definitely watch out for to see if Bitcoin is building a base. I'm not saying get in it, but we need to see a little bit more confirmation of some things. Now, I'm talking more of a swing or a trade, a longer term trade, but just wait for your level and just look for it, okay? But Bitcoin is kind of going sideways. Now, don't don't get it twisted. We could just drop all the way and just drop again due to pressure, but just pay attention to it. Just pay attention to it. Bitcoin is holding its strength. Now, IYT. High volume. This is another high volume candle bar. It broke below the weekly, the monthly level that you look for. We closed below that. I'm looking to see if the weekly is going to close below that. We are overbought. Let's look at the weekly where we are right here. We're below the 20 moving average. Then this level right here, if you look right here, when something becomes resistance, that resistance turns into support. If you look here, this is a location about a couple of three times right around here. This was supposed to be some type of support. We just broke that as well. So now we're below this level on IYT. So transports are telling you the economy is struggling and people flying and airlines and going places and traveling the world. Right now, with us being at war, this is the obvious location that's going to struggle. So anything in transports, from Boeing to airlines to trains to any of that stuff, be cautious about it because it's obviously telling you that this is struggling. The transports are struggling and the economy might slow down, come to a halt if this war becomes a situation where it's just too many red flags and people aren't traveling. I think my daughter, speaking of that, my daughter was thinking about getting a ticket to go to California this summer when she's out of school. But there are reports that they have drones from Iran flying around the coast of California. She decided not to get a ticket. She said she's just gonna come home and just wait for things to pass out. I mean, wait for things to pass over. That's a prime example. That's one person, but think about more people that feel that way, or if that goes across travel, international travel, and all that stuff might halt, grind to a halt. But let's just see. Let's just see. I'm just letting you know what the charts are telling me and what I'm dealing with in my own personal life. All right, here we go. RSP. RSP did the same thing. RSP's dropped. It dropped and closed below this particular engulfing candle. This is the broad market. This isn't the SPY. You see, the SPY didn't close below it. The SPY closed below other levels, but we absolutely closed below this. And this is the next thing we just closed below. Look at the weekly. Look at the weekly. This is an engulfing candle, double, triple tops with an engulfing candle. We closed below this weekly engulfing candle, and we closed below the 20 moving average on the weekly. Ooh, that's a double whammy. And we closed below a previous all-time high, which should act as support. Double whammy, double whammy. Well, we might have a triple whammy. We got the 20 moving average on the weekly. We got this engulfing candle on the weekly. We have this particular, that's double. Triple would be we close below this particular engulfing candle on the daily. That's a lot of drop. And the only thing left is this monthly level that we don't want to get below, which is 192.61. Now, this is the broad market. The reason why this is important, they're telling you it ain't just the large cap, it's everything is selling off right now. Now, we are oversold right now. We are oversold. It could bounce off. Oversold means we're outside of the Bollinger Band, or it can keep going. We're just going to watch it, but this move is letting me know this move of the market is a real move. It's across the board. It's not just big companies, not just tech, it's not just financials. Even though financials and transports are driving this has been a market sell-off, a broad market sell-off with volume. Okay, SMH. Okay, well, SMH tried, even though these are the two levels you're looking for, the high right here and the previous high, this is the main area. We're getting kind of choppy in between. But now we broke down below here, daily reversal. Now we might be trying to hit right back down to these particular levels. So as of right now, semiconductors have given you a confirmation we might be heading back down again. Now we could bounce all the way up to this area before turning back around. That's possible. So just pay attention to it. But SMH is actually technically kind of choppy. Like if I shrink it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. Once it gave you this, it's just been kind of doing this, just doing this. So just pay attention. But it'll break. When it's time to break, it'll break. TLT. All right. TLT still dropping. It's oversold. Nothing to tell you. What we identified it yesterday is oversold. It gapped down. It's continued to go down. This is a level that you definitely need to watch. But the bonds and treasuries and things like that, they are struggling right now. That means interest rates are going up. So it is it is what it is, guys. Now it could go all the way back up here and test this particular level, this candle right here. I think TLT can go back to around 880.05 and then turn back down again. But we'll see. We'll see. Oil. What am I talking about? We caught this yesterday, guys. I literally told y'all, hey, I'm not surprised if oil jump up because we did get that close above this particular hammer candle. You remember? I said this candle right here is an engulfing candle. Until we close below or above, you don't know what direction. Once it gave us this hammer candle, I said, ooh, now if we get above this hammer candle and close above it, the market's gonna jump. We literally closed above it yesterday, and guess what you got? Market jump. Did exactly what we talked about. So let me take care of this. Let me take care of that hammer candle, get that out the way. And now this is just kind of just rocking and rolling, trying to get back up to that high. Oil's moving. If you look at the all-time highs and what stocks are giving you all-time highs, you have Valero, you have Phillips. They giving you all-time highs right now. That means energy is actually where you want to be right now. So USO kind of head faked some people, but we kept you on the right side. We told you don't believe that drop down. All right, the dollar. What's the dollar doing? Hey, the dollar's rallying. Told you the safe haven may be the dollar. That might be the location that people want to kind of go in. Now, the oil give us another high, volume high. Let me see. Oil, USO. There we go. We've been talking about this. It's another day of high volume. People are going in, they are crowding in the oil on high volume. Look at that, another high volume day. So these are money managers jumping in the oil. So that lets me know that they feel like we have another big move to go in the oil. Because this isn't everyday traders. This is money managers diving in the oil saying oil has way more legs to go. We already talked about this. The dollar's rising, the dollar's doing what it do. It has some high days. It might close this particular gap. There's a gap that's right here, a huge gap that I'm curious to see how it handles that gap. Let me show it to you real quick. Okay. Sorry guys. Let me fix it. Um, See that gap? It dropped all the way down. No, well, the reality is not that's not the gap. The real gap is here. Let me change that. The real gap is right there. That might be a weekly gap, but the real gap is from here all the way down to here. It did it in one day. The dollar, that's a huge drop in the dollar. The dollar dropped that much in one day. All right, so let me go ahead and return this to where the gap may be. Okay, so that's the real gap. The overnight gap is that location. And the dollar, like it's kind of rising. Matter of fact, we might have closed above. Yeah, we literally closed above this. So it's just rocking and rolling. Okay, let's see the energy stocks. Energy stocks are doing exactly what it's supposed to. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, guys. If oil's going up, energy stocks are going up as well. This is the low that you want to see it hold above. But if it breaks out above that particular location, which would be, I think that's an all-time high. Let me make sure if it is or if it isn't. Yep, that would be an all-time high after giving you a nice little sideways action. This would be a new all-time high, 57.88. Let me go ahead and make that purple. And right now, the energy stocks are giving you all-time highs across the board. Those are the cleaner stocks. You just got to find locations to get into them. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Now, the financials. Here we go. Between transport and the financials, this has gotten ugly. We identified it yesterday because we finally got a close below this red candle, and it's just continuing. Now it is overbought, so you might have some bounce back up to this location, this level, and then turn back down. But for the most part, this is just it's just bad. Let's show you where it is. So December 17th was the spy. Let me see where this red line is coming from. It's not December 17th. This is all coming from, yeah, way over here. This we go. Way over here. You got these locations, these areas. We're breaking down below that. After that, there's nothing stopping this from dropping down way further. Guys, just pay attention to what we got going on here. Now, we're giving you locations, we're giving you understanding, we're giving you things to watch out for. So tomorrow's Friday, we're giving you levels that it might bounce up. I don't trade XLF, but I kind of look at it to know what financials are doing. You may get a bounce up to kind of retest some levels to get some new buyers or people taking profit. And then you're going to have a fade back down again. So watch that. Don't get faked out. We're teaching you the game. It's Friday, but the trend is absolutely down. Now let's find your best friend and get the right locations, okay? Well, you guys have a great day. Hope everything's going well. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you join the Discord. We do this every day, all day. And as you see, we have been on point. And this is only episode 5, guys. When you stick around us, you're going to see some amazing things, some amazing conversations that we're going to have way before you see it on CNBC, because we see it on the charts. And the charts will tell you way before the news will tell you. All right. Well, have a great day. Talk to you later, and look forward to you guys making some money, or at least having clarity on how you want to trade. Have a great day. Bye.